Okay, so recently Wuthering Waves version 2.2 has been a massive success among a lot of players and also in a lot of communities. With the new 5-star resonator Cantarella being a massive hit among a lot of fans, including a trailer bringing up a lot of hype for the game, and also just introducing a lot more players, and that's even without the new Steam version which was announced very recently, which could also bring in a ton of new players as well. And some of you may have noticed in the community, we've actually had the gacha revenue chart which has come out recently, and that's looking pretty good for Wuthering Waves as well, but we're not going to be going through that in this video. We're going to be going through a different set of data which can actually give us a rough idea of how the Brant banner from last version actually compared to a lot of the characters that were, in previous versions before that, and kind of putting an end to the whole debate of the whole male characters don't sell kind of thing, because again, this kind of data is actually very, very interesting and could actually prove that maybe more male characters in Wuthering Waves could be a good thing and could improve the game's overall quality in general. But before I get into this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and also go to GameStop, use my code CASA, get 10% off. They've got some really interesting events out at the moment, especially for April Fools, so again, I definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, let's get back into the video. So this was the post I came across over on OK Buddy Rovers, which again, this is also on some other subreddits as well, like r/Wuthering Waves, I'm pretty sure. And we've covered this person's post before. It's some offer knot, which again, I'm sorry if I completely butchered that. They did the old like wuwa tracker stuff whenever it comes to kind of tracking how many pulls each character has gotten. But this is also another thing that they do, is a Wuthering Waves report from the Brant analysis. Now obviously this is not completely accurate in any way, shape or form, so obviously take a lot of this with a grain of salt, because again, the data can be a little bit kind of sketchy, and it's never 100% because no one really knows what's going on inside of a company. But I thought this is very interesting to look at, because again, we can see how much Brant has actually made. Now obviously on the first day, Brant made 33 million yen, and he actually made more on the second day, making 33.3 million yen, and this is mainly on the Japanese iOS kind of side of thing and the Japanese kind of side of this. And obviously you can see there's a breakdown as well where it keeps going, and it ended up with the last day actually making 12 million, which is very interesting to see how the actual days kind of go from really high, and then it goes down to like a kind of lower number during the middle, and then it starts to go back up again as the banner gets to an end, because people are like, oh god, I need to pull for him now, else he's going to be gone forever. Well, he's not going to be gone forever, but he'll be gone for a little while, and then obviously the pulls start ramping back up again, which is kind of funny to see. Now obviously, you can see there's a little bit of a comparison of how much he was actually making in a day, and he actually made 12 million every single day as a daily average, which is actually higher than Zhang Liao, Shorekeeper, Phoebe, and yeah, literally just below Camellia by 0.7, which honestly I think is great, and it seems like he has been doing very good, especially over in Japan. Now obviously, how's he actually been comparing in terms of the overall revenue provided? Well, he's actually been doing surprisingly well. He actually made 252 million yen, more than Phoebe, who's the character before him, which again is absolutely amazing, because many thought that Phoebe was going to outperform him, but that's not the case. He did better than a female character. The same with Zheja as well, who also was at 144 million. Now that probably went up as her rerun went out, but obviously yeah, we keep going to Zhang Liao, who made 88 million, which is fairly obvious obviously, because he was a free character and not very many people were pulling on him, so it does make sense that he didn't get as much. And the same with Jian's rerun as well, 87 million, so he made more than that. And also on the Yilin and Zhang Liao banner, which I think that was a rerun banner, that also made less with 144 million. So again, already Brant has done so much better than 4 different banners, which honestly I think is great. Oh no, 5 different banners, sorry, I completely messed that up. 5 different banners, which again is absolutely amazing. Now yeah, some of the characters that he didn't reach up to was Jinshi, who made 544 million, Chang Li, who made 482 million, Shorekeeper, who made 283 million. To be honest, that's pretty close. Shorekeeper's pulls at 283 and Brant's at 252. This was at a time that people didn't really understand how important Shorekeeper was to teams and everything like that, so not as many people pulled on her, and all of these people are now pulling on Shorekeeper later on, now that her banner is coming out in the next rerun, which again is kind of funny. And yeah, he made just like about 100 million less than Camellia, which that was to be kind of expected. Now the last two were kind of interesting, because they did decide to join up the banners with Carlotta and Zheja, joining them up to make 384 million, which I feel like if you were to separate Carlotta, Brant maybe made as much as Carlotta. I'm not sure. Obviously that's me just estimating. They made 100 million more, just over 100 million more. Maybe Zheja doesn't make up that entire 100 million. I'm not sure. But hey, we'll have to wait and see. But hey, we don't really know. Obviously they did combine that data. That is kind of annoying, because I would like to see how much revenue Carlotta made on its own to see if we can compare to Brant. But those two banners together in that patch actually made more. And obviously we've got Rocha and Jinshi as well, which made more. And I think Jinshi absolutely carried that patch because, again, you know, tons of people really wanted her because she's a great damage dealer. And, you know, I feel like Rocha didn't really make much. So I think it's safe to say that Brant actually made more than Rocha as well, seeing as how low the number is with them being combined anyways. So again, overall, it seems like Brant is about in the middle in terms of pulls and in terms of, you know, how much money he's actually made for the game, which honestly I think is really, really good. Yeah, I think, you know, it's a very, very positive outlook for career games and a lot of people who want male characters in the game, because obviously, as you know, in my previous video I talked about wuwa husbandos and how they're getting all angry and stuff and how they're boycotting the game over the fact that Cantarella even existed. Well, I think they can be a little bit happier now with the kind of data that has been shown for Brant and the data of how well he's actually been doing. Now, if we just keep going as well to some of the other pieces of data as well, obviously we've got the store rankings for iOS. You know, Philippines are actually ranked second during this period, which again was absolutely amazing. You know, being ranked second in an entire country like the Philippines is kind of crazy. And obviously South Korea doing very good at 6th, Taiwan 6th, Japan 11th, Hong Kong 11th, China 23rd, which again in China that's pretty decent, Russia 29th, Canada 59th, Germany 70th, United States 95th, which honestly I think is actually pretty decent, India 116th, and over in the UK where I am 137th, which, you know, is a little bit low, but hey, it doesn't matter too much. Also, we've got the Google Play Store rankings as well, which are a little bit lower just because of there's, you know, so many more apps over on Android, which again, you know, that makes sense. And obviously the store rankings for PlayStation JP as well. The highest store ranking during this period was actually 3rd place, which again is absolutely amazing, meaning that it's very popular over on PlayStation still, with the lowest being 17th and the average being around about 9.5. So that's why it's about placed, which is in the top 10 of games in the PlayStation JP rankings, which honestly is really good because it means that a lot of players are going to see, you know, Wuthering Waves posted up on the PlayStation Store as one of their top games, which is going to entice a lot more people to come over to the game. And I'm hoping that's what the kind of effect that Steam will have and some other stores will have whenever they do come out, you know, because again, Wuthering Waves is such an amazing game and it will definitely get someone hooked as long as they actually download that game in the first place. You know, I talk about, you know, this kind of stuff on YouTube with CTR and being able to click through something. Obviously, that, you know, you have the case of having a good video that you want to watch, and then you've also got the case of having good CTR and having a good clickable thumbnail. It's the same with games. You know, you can have a good game, but if you don't advertise it well enough, no one's going to click on it, no one's going to download it, and no one's going to play it. So again, that is something very important for Wuthering Waves to do, and I think that, you know, with the PlayStation Store and Steam and stuff like that, and some of the advertisements they've been doing really, really good. Now, obviously, they said over on Wuwa Tracker as well, there was actually 22,000 pulls in the banner this period, which again is absolutely crazy, and hopefully that means that Wuthering Waves will start doing a couple more kind of male banners, because again, it seems like this is something that people really want. Now, obviously, they have a little app magic breakdown as well of some of the data from that, which again, they're saying Japan was one of the highest spenders, with China and the United States coming in 2nd and 3rd. And also in terms of downloads, China was at the top, with United States coming in 2nd, and then Indonesia coming in 7th, which again, it's kind of interesting, but again, it is really good to see that it is becoming a much more global game, and even more countries are deciding to, you know, play Wuthering Waves, which, you know, it's just great for revenue in general. And obviously, a lot of this data is to do with mobile revenue and stuff like that, which again doesn't even take into consideration all the PC revenue and also other revenue from other countries and other regions, which could help to even further, you know, the revenue of Wuthering Waves in general, which, you know, they can use to improve the game, they can use to improve the advertising and just get, you know, even more done with the game, which honestly I think is really great. And we know that Kuro Games do put this money back into the game. You know, it's not the case that they go, thank you very much, they, you know, head off on their yacht and then they go make another really terrible, you know, update. They actually put the money back into the update and give us an update that we want to play, which, you know, just feels absolutely amazing. And I think the more than they do this, the better the player base is going to become, and overall it's just a very, very positive sign for Wuthering Waves in general. But that's what I got for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, then don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and also go to GameStop, use my code CASA, get 10% off, and let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this. Do you think that Brant is a good, you know, selling character, and do you think that they should add more male characters into Wuthering Waves, or do you think they should have more female characters come to Wuthering Waves? Because obviously we saw recently Wuthering Waves actually put out some drip marketing for Zany, which looks absolutely amazing, meaning that we're going to get a couple more female characters in the meantime. But hey, maybe we'll see some more male characters coming out very, very soon. Yeah, that's all I got. I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.